black boy go out with 3 white kids come back, there's a blurred story on what happened. Now y'all all hostile and all upset. Didn't have the keys, but then you had the keys. Some about this don't make sense given your history. Mm-hmm. I want to put a reward up for $50,000 for anybody that could give the information that will lead to an arrest and a conviction in the case.
And are you confident that these young men had nothing to do with it?
Confidence not a strong enough word. In fact, beyond a reasonable doubt is not strong enough. There's a 0% chance that they did anything wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to announce my very first event, Florida. Here I come. If you live in Florida, you know anything about Florida, you will know this restaurant. I'm going to be at the Old Florida Fish House, one of the greatest restaurants in Florida, on September the 16th and 17th for 2 nights, 2 completely different experiences. Night 1, on September the 16th at 6 p.m., we're doing an intimate bourbon tasting and a 5-course dinner featuring Verdict Bourbon cocktail pairing. You'll hear the story of how we started Verdict, how we built the brand, and enjoy a dinner experience with a Verdict-inspired menu. Then night 2, September the 17th at 6 p.m., we're bringing the Officer Tatum Show experience live to the Old Florida Fish House. You can come for 1 night or you can come for both nights. Just make sure that you check the date and ticket selection carefully before you purchase. And I'll say this, tickets are moving fast. Make sure you get your tickets now. All you gotta do to reserve your spot is to go to oldfloridafishhouse.com, oldfloridafishhouse.com. We'll put the link in the description section. I want to see you there in September. Al Sharpton has barked himself up the wrong tree. There is a lawsuit and a pursuit of a lawsuit against him for defamation against Warren, Jax, and Morgan. And I don't want to hear none of y'all say that they just asking questions. No, they have put out false information with no evidence against these young boys. And let me tell you this, and I want everybody to be very clear about this. The days of hoodwinking, the days of bludgeoning white people, accusing them of things they didn't do, leveraging the power of the civil rights movement against innocent people, those days are over. They're over for everybody. I don't care if you black or white or indifferent. If you're going to come out and accuse people based on the color of their skin, your days are numbered. Here it goes. We have the lawsuit. We got the whole entire lawsuit. I don't know if we have it ready for people to view the entire. How many pages is it, Grant?
19 pages.
It's 19 pages long. I'm not going to read all the 19 pages. I'm going to give you a summation of them. Do we have the link for them to actually go and look at all 19 pages?
Not quite yet. We're trying to figure out how to do that appropriately.
By the end of the live stream, we should have a link for you. If you want to go look at the entire document as it is, Sarah Fields, I don't know if you follow her or not, she actually had the initial leak of this, and we have it here for you. We did a summation of it so you don't have to read all that stuff. But if you want to go read it and verify what we're saying, we'll find a way to present it, either through Sarah Fields' link or we'll do a link on our Substack so we can have it all there for you. Let's get to the bottom of it. They're threatening, the lawyers, Tyler Cox is threatening to sue not Benjamin Crump, but Al Sharpton. I hope Benjamin Crump is next. But here's some of the synopsis of what it entails, and we put it in a pretty little document for you. And it says, and this is quote, unless you comply with the demands set forward in this letter, we will imminently be filing suit against you. Public apology, written retraction is what they're asking for, delete or correction the disputed statements, and preserve evidence for litigation. Next slide. And the defamation claims are centered around, and some of the claims are centered around a cell phone. And here's the controversy. This is what is quoted in the document. It says that you lied about where or whether or not you had the cell phone and the keys. And three, everything's erased from the cell phone. And so the allegation is that Al Sharpton had made lies and claims against the boys that they had deleted things from the cell phone, that they hid the keys, and that things were erased from the cell phone. The letter says that Sharpton implied a cover-up. Attorneys argue that this point pointed directly at Warren, Jax, and Morgan. They said that the claim suggested crimes like evidence tampering or worse. Next clip. The letter says that they never touched the cell phone. And in the letter, here are the things that they're contesting that Al Sharpton said, and here are the claims that were made. They did not possess, access, breach, erase, or tamper with Nolan Wells' cell phone. They did not lie about the phone or keys, did come forth and contact family, Coast Guard, and law enforcement. Here's another element of what was lied about by Al Sharpton.
I don't know what happened, but I got your history in Mississippi. And the history tells me black boy go out with 3 white kids come back. There's a blurred story on what happened. Now y'all all hostile and all upset. Didn't have the keys, but then you had the keys. Some about this don't make sense given your history. And I'm going to stay on this until we find out what happened. It may be nothing, but we're not going to leave that up to chance with people that are distorted. We going to stay on this case. And lastly, since they want to talk about lawsuits, one of the things tying your morning together, Tiffany, they may come back, as you suggested, playing right-wing politics with this, with the local prosecutor, maybe even with the federal people. But if we have a change in January and there is a Democratic House, I said that if Hakeem becomes the speaker, he needs to have the chair judiciary subpoena them to the Judiciary Department, testify. No, that's what this vote means. We need to have a check and balance of government so that we got somewhere to go. We can't depend to go to Trump's Justice Department. So we need to really mobilize so people like these two parents can protect their children.
Yeah. And here's another element of what was lied about by Al Sharpton, because according to the document in the suit, they're saying that it was not just 3 boys with Nolan alone. That was a lie. There was 30 people traveling together on 3 boats. The letter says that Nolan was not on the same boat as Warren, Jax, or Morgan going out to the island. It claims roughly 2,000 people were on Horn Island that day, and in quote, at no time were they alone with Nolan. Also, here's some other timeline issues that I think that Al Sharpton clearly got wrong. I believe it was intentional, that Nolan stayed behind. They tried to act as if this was a lie. The team and the attorneys for the boys are making their definitive claim, and anything outside of this definitive claim is defaming or defamation towards them. Warren has made a statement on my interview, and he's also made an official statement through his lawyers that at 3 p.m., Warren says that he saw Nolan alive and well. That was the last time he saw Nolan with his physical eyes. At 4:28, 27 people departed without Nolan. The letter says that Nolan chose to remain with a young woman at the island, which is verified through text messages, verified through other people who all bear witness to them telling Nolan to get on a boat, and he never did. Here's a statement from them. Go back. At the very bottom of this, it says Nolan chose of his own free will and accord to stay on the island and return home later. All right, next slide. This is Warren's call. This is that Warren had called Nolan's mother and Coast Guard, and here's the evidence of it. Some mind-dead, failed OnlyFans woman with snag a tooth. I think she's stripping on trailer fans because she is literally trailer trash, going out in line, and then she made a video about my video editor or my YouTube manager and said that we made it up because we didn't put the Coast Guard's number. We didn't want, when this thing was going viral, for the Coast Guard to get bombarded with messages and phone calls and everything, and we didn't want that. So we showed the message, or at least the indication of the call. We just blurred the number out. I feel like that's fair and reasonable. I attest to the fact that I saw it. Law enforcement has evidence of this as well, so there's no reason for anybody to lie about it. When you look at this picture that we have pictured at the bottom corner, that is AI. When we had the AI put it into this graph, for some reason it blew up the numbers. But those are the exact numbers, so don't even worry about it. Just know that that's what it is. Because somebody's going to say, look, that number is AI. Well, yeah, the AI for some reason decided to blow that number up when it put it into this graphic. But anyway, here is phone calls, phone records of a timeline. It says at 11:07 p.m., Warren called Christine Wells. At 11:13, he called the Coast Guard. At 12:25, spoke with the Coast Guard again, this is Warren. And at 1 a.m., Christine called Warren. Sheriff's Department contact followed. So Christine called Warren at 1 a.m. Sheriff's Department contact followed. So that means that he then contacted the Sheriff's Department, the Sheriff's Department was contacted after the phone call with Christine and Warren at 1 a.m. It says to count 2 calls to Christine and 2 times speaking to the Coast Guard. All right, let's go to Al Sharpton intent to sue letter. Okay, this is just the meat and potatoes of what this is all about. This is the lawyers that are representing Warren, Jax, and Morgan. Okay, this is the most important part of it. You can read the rest on your own if you so desire. It says the letter threatens, and this is our synopsis of the letter, so you don't have to read it if you don't want to. It says the letter threatens a defamation suit against Al Sharpton. It says that Sharpton falsely implied that Warren, Jax, and Morgan were involved. The dispute centered on Nolan's phone, keys, and alleged deleted data. The letter claims that 3 young men never touched or accessed Nolan's phone. It says that Nolan stayed on Horn Island by choice when the larger group left. The letter says Warren contacted Nolan's mother, the Coast Guard, and law enforcement that night. It claims a large group went to the island and that thousands of people were there present, and it wasn't just a few people. The demand is an apology, a retraction, delete statements, and preserve evidence. So if you haven't watched it or you haven't looked at it, here's the summation of it. A link to Sarah Fields' image of the letter is up on our Substack. So we put the link to the Substack in the description section. You click that, and we'll give you a quick synopsis again, just in case you want to share it, and then we'll link it to the actual documentation. And how confident are you? Because you just met these young men more recently, and are you confident that these young men had nothing to do with it?
Confidence not a strong enough word. In fact, beyond a reasonable doubt is not strong enough. There's a 0% chance that they did anything wrong. So this is not 90%, it's not 99%, it's not 99.9999. There's no decimals, there's no anything. It's 100%, 100.000%, nothing. They did nothing wrong, and that's the problem for our opponents here, who have ruined their lives, dragged them through the mud, and attack them. You don't get to lie. We have a First Amendment. We love our First Amendment, but you don't get to lie and hurt people. You want to lie and it doesn't hurt people? Fine. You lie and you hurt people, that's why we have defamation. And that's what this is about. So I just want to emphasize this in the strongest possible terms. 0 wrongdoing, completely innocent, totally innocent, and categorically innocent.